Morning, everyone. Welcome to our first series of our Dash Local What's New. Uh, with me today is James Cho, who both of us will be kind of walking you through some of the cool feature functions that we just released for March. And we plan to do this on a monthly basis so that you guys can be in close loop with the product management team, the development team, to get a much more better feel of what's coming and what we have just released. Right, as you know, Dash Local is our software-only offering on private cloud, and we will be talking through some key feature functions, and the intent is to give you a demo, right? Live demo of the functions and the features that you will be playing with and using going forward, right? So having said that, this is not a roadmap discussion. The intent is not here to go walk you through the roadmap, but more so focus on the product. We encourage you to ask questions as we walk through some of the demos and examples, video examples and such. And it's meant to be a more interactive session, so it gives an opportunity for you to see what are the resources, how we can make it easier for you guys to access some of the collateral and things, right? So that is something what James will kind of share with you as we move through this session here. So once again, I welcome you all. We want to make this as a more productive session and interactive session, and with that, I'll pass it on to James for you to walk you through some of the new things.
All right, thank you, Mitesh. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. There we go. Excellent. So as Mitesh was talking about, we're here to talk about what's new for dashDB Local. dashDB Local, last Friday of every month, we publish a container update. And so for the first Friday of every month, this is an opportunity just to kind of walk through with you and show you what some of these new capabilities are. Very easy to find. If you just Google dashDB what's new, right, you should be able to find the hit for the page that talks about all the new capabilities. It's historical, so you can scroll down and see, all the updates, one for each month, right, over the past few months since Dash Local has GA'd. So for this month, we published in the last Friday of March version 1.7. And one of the new capabilities that we have here that you can see highlighted in the top is about monitoring through customer feedback. Some of our customers were asking, how do I understand the state of my system? Right, state of some critical objects like tables. So inside dashDB, this is a dashDB console running version 1.7. If you enter the console, you'll see something like this. You go under Monitor, and you go under Systems. You'll see this new panel that we have just created for version 1.7. Here from the software point of view, this is where we address some of the comments feedback that we got from our customers. Things like the database overall status, right? What this will show you is that you can actually connect to the database. Your applications can connect to the database. The database is available. It shows that the database is not in a write suspend state. For those of you who use dashDB Local's flash copy type backup capabilities, we give you tools to be able to put the database in write suspend, right? So it'll show you a really quick glance. No, it's not in write suspend. No, it also shows you the status of any abnormal tables. So if there's any tables that might be in a load pending state or in a reorganization state or unavailable for one reason or another, we'll tell you what that is. We'll give you more details in terms of what you could do about it as well. So quick glance into your monitor system, give you a good quick idea in terms of how healthy you are, what else is going on with your system. Now, one of the other areas that we've also improved dashDB Local in the March delivery is improved performance through parallelism. So what we now have for dashDB Local is if you give us a larger system, one with more memory, one with more cores, right, we'll detect that. In particular, if you give us a cluster with more than 960 gigabytes of RAM, we will increase the parallelism for you. For those of us who are familiar with the Netezza type background, we call them data slices. right? So in such larger systems, we will create 60 data slices for you as opposed to, let's say, 24, which is more standard and typical. This is all automatic, right? Depending on the actual infrastructure that you give us, when you actually deploy your cluster, we'll go ahead and automatically increase the parallelism for you. There's more in this area that we're looking at to be able to automatically, bring out the best efficiency of your machines. But with 1.7, more data slices will be available if you give us larger systems. Another area that we have also provided for in the 1.7 release is we do now offer an HADR capability initially for the single node or SMP deployments. So if you do have a single node SMP deployment, and that is certainly one of the really fast, easy deployments to stand up. You can do it on your laptop or you can do it on single Linux systems. We do now have a capability for you to be able to not only create an automatic background HA or DR as well, and to give you the tools to be able to make that really easy. And there's a link here that takes you to some of our Knowledge Center documents in terms of how to do that. Shows you some of the tools for how to do that. It's actually very simple to set up. Like here's a section on setting up HADR for dashDB SMP, right? Not really very many commands. This is basically starting the container, a couple of the commands that you would actually use to be able to set up HADR, right? So in this case, we're talking about roughly 4 commands that you'll be using tools that we provide to set that up for you, where you'll have, again, an entire secondary system that keeps in sync with your primary system, right? So you can have not only another standby server that's already in sync, and one that you can fail over to if you need to. Let me go back to our what's new. Now we also have support for deploying dashDB in Azure. So dashDB, of course, has always been very flexible. We automatically configure, we automatically deploy to essentially whatever you give us. So it's always been, certainly possible to deploy on things like Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services. But what we've been doing is we've been providing more instructions, right, as well as video. Right? We have a video that is just coming off of final edit. You should be able to see it very soon on YouTube. This is what it looks like.
The first
just a few minutes showing you exactly step-by-step how to do it. Let me go ahead and pause that. That will be available, as well as, of course, links showing you procedural steps for how you'd stand up on Microsoft Azure. Under the deployment section, this is our Knowledge Center for dashDB documentation, but under deploying dashDB local, you'll also see all those various different steps and links to be able to help you deploy in the area or in the infrastructure of your choice. In particular, Azure here, right, AWS here. You go into them, you can see what the procedures and instructions look like. So that covers what's new for dashDB local. Again, published here where you can see what's there. We'll also be posting this recording next to it, so you can also just watch. And until then, again, we'll be doing it every month following the release of each container.